Good evening, everyone. This is Manifesting with Meg, Conversations with Extraordinary People, episode 29 in February, and it's the month of love, and we're so excited to have you with us tonight. And I'm so excited to have this extraordinary person with me today.
And this extraordinary person.
Well, you know, and these extraordinary people, because without you guys, it would be just a conversation with me and Eva, which we could have any day. But we'd love to have you join on the topic, healing power of doing the things you love. So I welcome you all to engage in the conversation. Certainly, there's going to be lots to talk about tonight because Eva is a plethora of knowledge and information and wisdom, and super excited to have you guys join us. So before I go on, I have to introduce you to Dr. Eva Paglialonga-Novotna. And the craziest thing is she's the most humble person that you'll ever meet. But at the same time, really, she is a healer for many people and has been someone who actually has been what the emotional support is that people are looking for in their life as an acupuncturist. And also, I'm lucky enough to call her my friend. And Connie's on watching, so from Europe, nice to see you with us tonight. So without further ado, I definitely want to introduce you to Eva and tell you all about what she's come to the table with, because I think at this point in time, everyone needs to know a good doctor like this woman next to me. So Dr. Eva is a Florida licensed acupuncturist since 2008. She's a background in music science, if you believe that. She left the Czech Republic and came to the United States to pursue her bachelor's degree in health sciences, her master in Oriental Medicine, and then her doctorate in 2014 in acupuncture with a dissertation in the treatment of hyperthyroidism by acupuncture and moxibustion. And the cool thing is that she's been running her clinic called Miami Center for Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine since 2008, which is where I found her, luckily, through a friend of mine, Karen Todd. And we've been, since 2011, working together ever since, as far as her guiding me on a new path toward healing tools, as well as how to reduce the anxiety and nervousness. And certainly I am most grateful to her. And we have Karen Todd on as well. Very good to have you, Karen. So she does speak Czech, English, Spanish, and Italian. And I have to tell you, I'm so lucky to be her friend. It is amazing. This woman used to be an assistant producer at Czech Television. It's crazy. Now, when I talk about people changing their minds with regard to their careers, I want you to really think about it. You're never really stuck anywhere in life. You can make your move and change if your intuition or passion guides you. And that's something, the healing power of doing what you love, because you're not in a box. And if there's something that, you know, flights a fancy and that engages you, you go for it. And that's something that Eva, luckily for those who have been the beneficiaries of her healing tools, has done for many. I definitely want to give the floor to her right now. There's so much more I could say, but I do want to give her the first words to share a little bit about herself that her curricula vitae doesn't actually show us, because, you know, it doesn't tell us everything.
So, what should I say? That I'm very glad to be here with you.
So happy you're here too.
And I kind of feel it that this is something like this is our journey tonight.
Yes.
And what we are going to share, it's that we shared between us for many years. So this was the purpose why we are doing it tonight.
Yes.
And hopefully, we can plant a little seed for anyone who is looking for something, some answers that, you know, or some questions, answers that, or topics that we will be talking about. I don't know what you want to know about me, but...
well, tell us about where your journey is taking you, because I know, for one thing, at the end of March, at least my seeing you every 2 weeks is going to come to an end, and the door opens for another narrative or chapter for you. So if you want to share with everyone, please go ahead.
So I have been now in America for almost 20 years. I had this opportunity with my husband to be here for 20 years and share these amazing things and find new friends and you know, just the journey to have a clinic and help people, and you know, it was outstanding. So now a new journey starts again for me, because we have decided that we want to stay closer to the family, and this is a topic that we will be talking also in a couple of minutes. But my mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and she's not doing so well. So I cannot imagine not being there for the time that she still has. And so we have decided that we are going to move back to Europe and open up a new chapter, and let's see what we will find, you know. But certainly it's a huge decision, but it depends on the priority that you have in your life, and everything can change, and you can still be okay and be happy, and you just need to feel your heart.
You know, I know that with this situation with your mother, it's been very challenging for you to be so far away for her. And the fact that you are able to offer your beautiful little girl the opportunity to actually be with her while she can is such a gift and such a wonderful decision that you and your husband both made together on this next chapter journey. Because a lot of people, for fear of change or whatever other odds, they stay stuck in whatever it is, and you are not that kind of person. You've always told me, jump, you just go, do.
I believe that in the body, everything has to flow, you know. Everything. If we get stuck in one situation, we need to take actions. So whatever, you know, we don't know what is going to be your future, but whenever you are in a situation that you start to think about it, and you know that this is right, you need to make that action.
Right. And I think that it's the indecision that freezes you up and causes you great anxiety, the worry of the future rather than the making the choice, the action like you're talking about, to step on. So you've definitely achieved great success in the area of acupuncture here in the United States. And like I said, you definitely benefited many people who came into your beautiful healing hands. And you know, February is the month of love, and I couldn't imagine a better month to have this conversation with you, because in my book, which is today's date, incidentally, what came about, The Magical Guide to Bliss, came about because of this lovely woman who, every time I would go into her office and she goes, I have a new idea, Meg. And I would always be like, you can't say no to Eva. She's not one to take a no. For at least when she in her gut knows it's the right thing for you, she will impress upon you to do it. In a loving way, of course, but it's definitely an encouragement that maybe people who are more insecure and need approval, and she will give it to you, and you'll step in. So I know my own book certainly is what it is today, at least the first one and the second one for that matter, because of her. But even today, the book shows up, the insight today is a vision of a life that is alluring. And Rumi's quote, a person who does not run towards the allure of love walks a road where nothing lives. And I can't imagine a better quote to describe how you go about your life, coupled with the whole idea, the visualization of the journey that's open to beauty and the experience with gratitude. So how does that speak to you as we start this evening?
Well, you know, I think that there is one very important thing in all we just said, and it is going to guide me to that, to the same exact thing, you know, feel your heart and do everything with the best intentions. And I think that's a universal concept that we should all share. Unfortunately, we are living in a world that sometimes we mask things, and we don't share our feelings because it's not expected, you know. But I believe that open our heart to and have it as your inner gut is the most important thing for a person. You know, I have my personal journey, you know. When we are young, we are stupid. Right?
Is that what it is? Or is it just we're more fearless? I like to think it's a little bit more fearless.
I would say too. I would say both, you know.
A little stupid and fearless.
But I also have had, you know, so many changes in my life and challenges. And being born in a communist country, you know, I mean, that was first thing that I was challenging. You know, we were on the street when the revolution happened, you know. Then suddenly all the borders opened up, you know, and you can experience the world. So you could get a little bit confused.
You know, I never talked to you about that. You know, that you were actually, you know, you were there. I mean, clearly you were there in the Czech Republic. And when that all happened, you know, what kind of life change that? Like, talk about opening up your box and your eyes to a greater, bigger world out there, because you're no longer stuck in what someone forces you to stay stuck in.
I think that we share these emotions within many countries, and that's why, for example, my country is very close to, for example, Cuba.
Okay.
That I didn't realize why, you know, because Cubans are Latin. We have not such cultures that are a mixture, but now I realize where is this coming from, you know, and it's repeating in the world, you know, that we are dividing the families and stuff like that. So I am coming from one of that family that my sister actually, you know, left the country, and from one day to another I was not able to see her. You know, it was very difficult.
So she was gone before the wall.
Yes. Yes.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
And you know, with her 2 kids, and she was she basically left Czech Republic with a horrible conditions, you know, then stay in Austria, then in Australia, and so those are all experiences that are your kind of DNA, you know, become to be your DNA, and you learn from those little things. We all have our things, you know, so I also learned through those paths, and I believe that whenever in our life we have to challenge difficult things, because this was very difficult thing, you know, and I had it stored somewhere within myself for a long period of time. And I understood it many years later. I could release it and let it go. So these things happen to us, you know, but I believe that everything what happens has a purpose.
Okay.
And the purpose is there. And I know that.
Yes. You know, I love that you just said that, because I think a lot of people are trying to basically separate themselves from their past because it's so painful, instead of working through the issues of the past and allowing yourself to forgive perhaps, or let go perhaps, because that's where the true healing begins. And I think that otherwise you get stuck in a suffering situation.
You have many transformations that are taking place, you know. I certainly had many. And we all have many challenges, you know. So, they are, and probably you will want to ask me, right?
Yes.
What we can do.
Yes. Well, you know,
what is the most important? Well, I would say, you know, like.
I do have you here with all your wisdom to definitely share with whoever's listening as to what they can do.
It's just a natural way how I have been seeing people and treating people for many years. So in my profession, I am so fortunate to spend time with anyone who come to me. And this is like gold,
Yes.
you know, because you are sharing with the person whatever you are letting me know about you. So through many lives I have seen like that and transformations, I can just summarize it for you. You know, what is my personal experience, what is my kind of thing that I will take with me after this journey that I have had here in America, being you know, in my profession and dedicated to holistic medicine. So should I continue?
Well,
should
you know,
I say it?
I love that you're saying this, because I think that even just giving it some context with regard to my life, and I think that this is really important, how different synchronistic opportunities come along. In fact, I know you because of Karen, and Karen met you through your BNI group, and she saw me very badly suffering from the loss of my mother, and I had acquired tinnitus, and I didn't know what to do, and she got really worried about me, so she brought me to you. And I think that, you know, at that point, you know, I went through all the traditional medicine, at least with regard to Western medicine here, and everyone basically told me that they could do nothing to help me, that I would have to live with this for the rest of my life. When I came to you, I think the difference between someone treating me with the traditional Western versus the holistic mentality that you had is that you really just took my hand, and I felt listened to. And I think that that is a gift that not everyone actually has. That's something that you bring to the table, that you get to know the person so you can help with the diagnosis, so that you can build upon that to try to, you know, bring them on their journey, a possibility to healing. And so speaking to the, you know, the healing power about coming to that, I know that you came into acupuncture in a very interesting story, because you were a director or associate director of Czech Television, which is not, you know, something that you would think, oh, maybe I'll go into acupuncture after that.
So, okay, it's true. My journey was not very straight, right?
No.
I was, you know, I don't even feel like I have to talk about me, you know, but I will share my journey with you guys. I don't feel like I'm something special.
Extraordinary.
But, you know, my life when I was a teenager was all about music. And so I always wanted to be doing something with the music, so that's why I studied it, and that's why I also worked in the television, because I had this offer to become an assistant of producer, and we were doing musical programs. Mm-hmm. However, that's very important, you know, even if I wanted to do that and I tried it, my heart was not there. It was like kind of you know, environment.
Yes.
Environment
Yeah.
that you know, like suck all your energy.
Yes.
You know, at least it was not in my heart. I was not
Yes.
finding myself. I was doing it because of my passion for music, but my heart was not there. But I didn't know that yet. So
Because you were how old when you started with
the Czech Television?
Yes.
I was like maybe 28.
Oh, so you were like earlier on in your career, obviously.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And you know, at that time, you know, young people, we do whatever we can, right, to have opportunities. You know, like for me, Czech Television, obviously, it was something that other people maybe did not have. You know, and I can imagine that this same thing happens to a lot of other young people.
Yeah.
You know, that they are sometimes even pushed for careers that they study, you know, they diligently study,
Yes.
but they don't feel it, you know, as their passion or in their heart.
Yeah.
And it's a pity. it's really a pity, because I think that if you find your passion,
I love this.
if you find your passion in your life, then you should go for. And you know, I know that this transformation
it's hard.
It's hard and takes a lot of effort.
It does,
you know, and ups and downs.
I think I had more energy when I was younger. I think that's the benefit of being young and fearless and stupid, because you have a lot more energy to make more mistakes than I think in later
you
in
do,
life,
but you can also be broken.
Yes.
You know, like something broken, you know, like something, it's too much sometimes for us, and people are sensitive.
Yeah.
Like, think of now of teenagers and young people.
Oh, absolutely.
How sensitive they are,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that we should listen to them, you know, and hopefully I will do it with my daughter, you know, and encourage them to do things that they are supposed to do, or their tendency, their passions, you know, like instead of pushing her to do something that
make a lot of money.
Make a lot of money, or because I want to, right?
Or because you want to,
So that is very important.
No, I think that's really on the money. And anyone who is listening, and perhaps someone who is starting out in a career, maybe in mid-career and not feeling it anymore, then maybe this is something that you really needed to hear tonight, because I think that at a certain point in time, and I think this is something I got from when my mom passed away. She said, stress will kill you, clearly, and then have no regrets. And the no regrets part will force you to engage and do what you're here to do. And I think that is, you know, how you came to what you're doing today. And I think, tell a little bit about your travels to Thailand, because that's pretty, I know, that's so bold, and it's so, you know, so bizarrely exciting. And
so I make money, you know, for the university, like a young kid, you know, like a young girl. I had to live, you know, with some money. So I was working as a tour guide. And it was very good for me, because my mom always told me, you have to learn languages.
That's why you know so many languages.
And so I, you know, I like to kind of go and see different cultures, and I like art. So for me to be a tour guide was something that I did for hobby, but I had a good money from it. So I was very good in that part. And so when the position in Czech Television was not completely satisfying me, you know, they offer me a journey. They offer me, you know, from a day to another. You know, I was signing a contract to go to Spain, and they called me and they told me, Eva, we need you.
Really?
You know,
I didn't know that.
And you know, it was a very important tour operator in Czech Republic, and then they called me, and because I was already experienced, you know, and they called me that their tour guide in Thailand, you know, had an emergency, a situation, and they need to substitute that tour guide with somebody, and they were begging me, go to Thailand. And I remember that it was kind of, you know, for me it was like, you know, I have never been in Asia.
Did you just pick everything up and just move? Like all your things, you just moved.
So I bought all the books overnight. I studied them, you know, of Thailand, all the temples and everything. And then I had to talk to my sister, because I planned to visit her in Australia.
Okay.
And she was waiting for me, so I called her and first asked her if, what about, I was like, you know, this will never happen again, you know, so what about if you come to Bangkok?
Oh, you took someone with you then. Oh, there
and you go. Then after I finish, I go to you, you know, to Australia.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so that what happened. And I went to Bangkok, to Thailand. You
and
know.
how long were you there for?
I was there always like 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
Each
so you would
time.
go back and forth. You would travel.
I was going back and forth.
Oh wow.
And imagine Thailand, okay? Look at me.
Yeah. This beautiful blonde shows up in Thailand.
But you know, like speaking Czech English,
yes.
my first
God, I
English was from Thai people.
Oh, you're kidding.
So if you were
awesome.
listening me to speak in English
Yes.
at the first,
Oh,
you know, like at the beginning, I was speaking like a Thai people,
that's
you know.
awesome.
You would be laughing.
Oh my God, that's
okay?
awesome.
So, but that's where I discovered my passion.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that this was happening.
Wow, amazing.
And so I will share it with you, you know, because if you ever go to Thailand, Thailand, it's a beautiful country.
Yeah, I've
It's
never been. Very cheap. Okay.
Very
It's a
famous
plug for Thailand.
Very famous, you know, for many things,
Yes.
right?
For the temples, for sure, right? The
Not
Buddha.
only for go-go bars,
Oh yeah.
which, you know, they are famous too, but they have a wonderful manual therapy, you know,
okay, yes.
that it's called Thai massage.
Okay.
And since I was a tour guide,
Did you learn it there?
I had first done it on myself.
Okay.
Okay?
I love this.
Every single week, 2 hours of massage.
Amazing.
They forced me with
forced-
tourists.
Oh my God.
I had to do it.
Oh my God.
I was a poor Eva,
Oh
right?
my God, poor Eva. I think 2 hours a week. You had a massage.
So,
Oh, wow.
so then I saw the calling that I had. I truly felt that passion. I don't know how this happened, but I wanted to learn that technique.
That's amazing.
And because that technique, you know, that kind of manual therapy, it's completely different.
Wow.
And you don't understand anything.
That's
you know,
amazing.
they are just pressing. You know, they stretch you. You know, you crack your bones. You know, but you don't understand anything. So I then.
But you're a big advocate of massage.
Yes.
Because a lot of the energy, I guess, gets stuck in your body in certain places where you get the knots.
So
and
let me tell you, that's very important if we are talking about the healing aspect of the body.
Yes.
Because Thailand, it's really that technique. You know, when you have a Thai massage there, you know, it's like they work on the whole body for 2 hours.
Oh,
it's
wow.
like to have acupuncture all over. Like you are
they
done.
the acupressure points that they tap?
They are. They don't teach you that. So I then studied, you know, I studied from the local people.
Oh, so...
Like for fun.
Oh,
okay? For fun. And listen, it was fun because I am tall, big, you know, they are petite.
Oh, that's good.
My moves were like that.
Oh,
Their
so
moves, like we were laughing. But I learned it. And then I went to the Bangkok, you know, to the medical school.
Yeah.
So to really learn that technique, and from that I understood that the root of what they are doing, the pressure points, that root is coming from Chinese medicine.
Okay.
And that's where my eyes got open, you know, and I was like, my radar was like, you know, my antenna. I wanted to know why we are able to change, you know, like any kind of problems just by those points. And obviously they don't teach you that. You have to go and study Chinese medicine to know then, you know, what we are talking about, you know.
Well, but so it's interesting that, you know, I find when you couple both Western and Chinese medicine, Eastern medicine, I think that your results certainly are exponentially,
magnificent.
Yes.
So before, you know, when I was young and studied Chinese medicine,
okay? Beautiful. I'm sorry.
I was like, Western medicine, right?
Yeah.
What Western medicine can do, right?
Right.
No. So I believe that the future should be in both, working together.
Yes.
Excuse me. And certainly I believe in Western medicine and believe in Chinese medicine.
You always told me when I came to you, if it's acute, you go to the emergency room. So if your leg is hanging off your body, you go to the emergency room.
Don't go to Chinese doctor.
No, but if it's chronic, then they can work with the different meridians to balance you out. And it's certainly, it was fascinating. Of course, I always ask you before you ever did anything to me, because being the lawyer, I was just like, what are you doing? What's going on? on, what are you doing? And you told me. So you educated me at the same time.
But you had an open mind.
Well, I was also desperate at that point, literally.
But
yeah.
Whenever, and this is, I believe, in all aspects of our life,
Yeah.
not only when something happened to you, but it is going to be easier for you when your mind is open.
Absolutely, I agree.
And when you are more flexible, adjustable, because if we are like piece of wood, then you can just knock on it, right?
Yes.
But nothing will happen, like you can break, So it's very important. Your aspect of healing is that you are open-minded. And you let it go to whatever you trust that person who is providing some help, right? It doesn't need to be me, and any kind of
I think for me that difference was when I was younger, I was not so open-minded. I was more closed-minded. I thought I knew it all. I thought I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I had a vision. I had a purpose. I had a path. And then it takes something to break you, like you were talking about before, break you down to then realize that maybe the way you're looking at the world is not the only way, and that you become more open-minded. Because like I said, when people say, one of the things that I think that I'm stubborn, and because I'm stubborn, I don't take answers that don't sit well with me as being the end all be all. I will never follow someone who hasn't shown me the possibilities of their leadership. So, if they're closed-minded, I will never step in line. However, because of the way you addressed the situation, I think this is a beautiful, like when I went to a Chinese medical doctor, you don't expect to see a blonde Czech taking care of you. But the way, the knowledge and the ability that you had to navigate, like really figure it out, it opened a trusting space between you and the patient. And I think that you do that so incredibly well.
Well, I am sure that there are a lot of practitioners that are wonderful. I am an advocate for Chinese medicine, obviously, but advocate in general, be open-minded, and whenever you have a problem, try to first address it holistically. And if that is not, and also you can check it with your doctors, and because they have things that we don't have, and they don't have things that we have, right. So it can be a partnership.
Yes, that's a great word.
be open-minded and try for you to open up to a healing, because healing can happen. And there are many ways, it doesn't need to be only Chinese medicine, how you can really get better, and solve your health problems.
So you've been practicing since 2008, and you actually took the step, the big leap to get your doctorate, and to go that route as well. And to get more, you have an insatiable desire for learning. I know that. When you told me you were going, you're like, oh my God, I'm doing all of this. But at the same time, I think you were really excited about exploring different avenues to see where it would take you. And I think when people are very insecure about the journey and they're scared about the journey, people tend to not open up themselves to new things. I think that they hold on to what actually works and what looks good, and so maybe you won't experience something really wonderful because they're holding tight to the known. I know that to dream bigger, to see your life, like you're not done yet. You're obviously here for a purpose. And like you said, you have to believe that everything is a purpose, and your foundation that you have is incredibly fascinating as well as purposeful for your path. So how would you encourage others to, as they walk on this, path to open up to their dreams, that they do so rather than holding tight to something that is known?
So there is only one way how I would, how I see it. You always have to trust your heart.
Okay.
The heart is your guidance, and I really truly mean it. You can be president, you can be a lawyer, you can be a doctor. But at the end, we all come home and we have to come back to us. But if you come back to you, even when you do the profession, then it's something amazing.
Yeah.
So for me, that, you know, will open up the whole passage for, you know, like all your journey will happen. Once you start to feel the only thing that it's right there for you, because you are individual and no one can tell you what is right and what is wrong. Only you know the best what is for you. So, you know, that's for first.
That is very important. That's very important. I absolutely agree with you that you know your own intuition and you know your own guide and you know your own heart. You got to listen.
And I see that a lot of times we get lost, and for whatever reasons, you know, our life is not easy. And so for whatever reason, sometimes we get lost. But no matter what, find yourself again. And it's something inside. So how I would translate it to me, for example, you see, I don't do things when I feel them wrong. So when I feel people that, for example, are toxic, you know, I don't deal with them. You know, if I don't, because you feel it.
You take it. You take the energy.
You feel it. Everything in the world is vibrating, you know, and we vibrate.
Speak to that a little bit with regard to that, because I love the idea of the energetic vibration behind, you know, your presence and other people's presence. And I think that it's really important to keep that in mind, especially with the healing modalities, as far as what that means to you and what that looks like to you.
You know, again, it's all about finding yourself. Now, the vibration doesn't need to be still like all positive, you know. We might have difficulties, but it's very important to acknowledge that.
That's really,
you know, like acknowledge what gives you that difficulty that you feel not correct. Like you have to feel it so you can avoid it, and or not only avoid it but also to face it and confront that situation. Do I say it correctly?
That's right. That's
yes.
Right.
Like solve it for you. You know, and obviously there are different situations for different people. And but very important is to do not be stuck, you know, with the same thing that is kind of eating you inside. Acknowledge it. That's the first thing, you know. Maybe you live the life and you just go the routine, right? Go, and you don't listen to yourself. You know, and how many of us, you know, it's like that. The situations are like that. And until you just feel like, you know, yes. So that is the moment. We all have different moments when we feel that this is the time to tune up. But you have to nourish yourself again, you know, and ask for help. So
I wanna jump in on that too with regard to the ask for help. I think that now these times are very tense. I think that the times we're living in right now, I think a lot of people are having a lot of difficulties navigating the situations, and they take in a lot of other people's energies because of certain fears or you know, concerns that they might have. So they buy into other people's drama without protecting their own energy, like you were saying. So
I would say something like that. So we are all different, right? We all have different strengths, you know. I might be weaker, that person might be stronger. It all depends, you know, what we are born with, like you know, like so I am just talking to you in that way because for example, I feel people's pulse.
Yeah, talk about that, because I know that when you actually, some people might not know this because they've never gone to an acupuncturist, but when they see you, they check your tongue. And they check your pulse, and both arms too, right?
It's very important. So what do we kind of develop these feelings that are very unique. You have to go through many people and you develop it for yourself. It's some kind of like a diagnosis that you base on, but it's a really kind of an MRI for me,
right.
me when I see you.
So what does the pulse tell you?
So the pulse, very basically, I don't want to bore, I don't want to be boring.
It's fascinating to me, because I think it's fascinating what your body, it literally, how do people heal when they listen to their body?
Okay,
so I think that's really important that concept actually...
That concept matches what you are saying, and it's important to know that, when we take people's pulse, kind of I feel your organs inside, energetically speaking, okay? This is not like I would do, ultrasound, okay?
Yeah, no, you can't see them, you feel them.
But you feel a lot of things. And you feel, some people, energetically speaking, are very empty. And some people are very strong, which is almost like excess, So those people with the strong energy are the ones that can destroy the people with the weak energy.
So you see them coming and you feel them coming.
Yes.
So, yes.
So the what I wanted to say that what you said about people that are now worrying about the others, and like take their problems on their shoulders. I mean, it's very difficult for them to kind of do not do that, because they are probably with energetic deficiencies,
right?
And so they need to become stronger.
So what do you do in a session with somebody when they come to you and they feel like they're deficient, they're tired? It's probably one of the diagnoses that I had constantly, is that you're exhausted and you just feel like you can't deal because of all of the buildup, I think, with regard to stress and anxiety and everything, to be quite honest.
Absolutely. Well, we have many challenges. So what do you do? I can tell you what we do in our practice. In Chinese medicine, you have tools that automatically kind of recharge your batteries.
Yeah.
And it's very those tools are very
I love your Meg-Conversations.
Yes.
I love
ancient tools, that has been here used for thousands of years. But so we use those tools. Those that they know about them, we know. You can also use herbs, obviously acupuncture. But those are my tools.
Yes.
There are many other people that they practice other styles, of holistic medicine, and they can
cupping
have their
Cupping too. You did cupping.
Cupping, that is again all under umbrella of Chinese medicine.
Yes.
Cupping, it's more for like you remember
the
what
cold.
We said about the stagnant.
Yes.
Stagnation, that nothing is moving, and we are still, like in the still water.
Yeah.
So that's not good.
And we choose to be in the still water, but we need a hit of a cupping.
So whenever you are in those situations, think of us now, because you need to move.
You're not moving.
You need move, whatever you can do.
Yeah.
So that's what we do with cupping, for pain mostly, but for other things as well, because cupping kind of promote the circulation,
which is so important to the healing process of the body. When it stops moving, like you're saying, that it stagnates and it gets stuck where it is, which I think, I love it. So, one of my favorite things is Meg-Conversations, and basically, I don't know what it does, but she puts it on my kidney area, my back. And I have acquired tinnitus, And what it does is it settles down my nervous system into such a point where, I mean, it's additional help because I don't ever stop and meditate a lot. I try, I do my best, but at least the time that I'm there, it calms me down. And you feel there's certain points for acupuncture. Oh, I love the ear, whatever the one you do in my ear. I love that one, and I feel like it's a direct link to God or something, that he's like right here in between my eyes or in my head, and I just feel like I don't ever open my eyes for the needles because I cannot stand the needles, but I definitely appreciate the needles, believe me. I mean, it looked, I was one of those real chickens when I was a kid, but you know, the fact is there's real benefits, and I can tell, like when I leave, you know.
Chinese medicine, it's a medicine, okay? And we mistakenly thinking only acupuncturist.
Yeah.
But it's not true. Chinese medicine is not just acupuncture.
Yeah.
Chinese medicine is all the tools that belongs to Chinese medicine, which is acupuncture, moxibustion, which is the moxa that you mentioned.
Yeah,
herbs. We have such a huge,
yes,
like a big herbology, like so many herbs that
yes,
we use to, you know, that the selection of those we make formulas,
right,
you know, that are patent formulas that are for you,
right,
you know, like for that moment, you know,
yes,
that particular symptoms that you have.
yes.
So we
and
don't
it's natural. It's natural.
natural.
It's coming from the earth, so it's not synthetic or anything like that, which is what medicine they used to use
Yes.
thousands and thousands of years ago.
Yes.
Yes.
Then we have obviously nutrition, you know, and the cupping.
And the cupping.
So those are our tools.
Yeah, that's the tools.
Yes.
And I certainly encourage, you know, if it's so in your path, you know, that you would at least, if you're having challenges with regard to lethargy or tiredness and your health, in many different avenues, like they help with premenstrual symptoms, they help with menopause, they help with hypertension, they help with, you know, metabolism, so many things.
Listen,
that
Chinese medicine is very effective.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Chinese medicine is strong.
Yeah.
You know. But I don't want to annoy you, you know,
Yeah.
we're just talking about, you know, Chinese medicine. This is probably not the way how we should, you know.
Well, okay, so I don't want to, so for sure, we're back to the healing power of doing what you love. And I think that there's a lot of healing, and I'll go back to this. I think the person who, you know, administers the healing is as important as the actual tools themselves, because I think that's the space and the energy that you bring to it, and that's where your guidance comes in.
I try to do it with passion.
Yeah.
So if you have your passion, try to, you know, make it your job.
There you go. Well, I wanted to go back to, you know, being a catalyst for others to understand that they're also special and unique, and that their vision that they have, you know, they might think they're ordinary, but in their very incredible uniqueness, they're extraordinary, and to engage others to new heights and to possibilities, you know, that's where manifesting comes into play. So when I like this is all manifesting with me, so I want you to share with us what's important on this part of your journey now, and what we're going to do with that.
So what is important for me now?
Yes.
So, you know, after such a journey, you know, I became so humble in what I really want.
Yes.
So I really want to support my family, be with my family, and I believe that we should be surrounded by our families. I see it in America, especially because, you know, this is all globalization, and there are wonderful things that happen, you know,
Yeah.
like because of that fact, you know, we can study here and in another state, but family is kind of your blood, your roots, you know, that's where I feel like I want to be now.
Yeah.
And that's why I appreciate, you know, everything that family can provide you.
Well, I'll tell you this, having experienced the last days of my mother, you'll never regret spending the time with those people you love. And I say love because it's right behind us. And we were talking about this before, that where you learn love and you give love and you show your children love, then you've established a foundation that is going to live beyond your years. And I think that the gift of exposing them to your family, whom you love and who you feel close to, is incredible. And I think to manifest the life of their dreams, to know that they're supported by that kind of rock solid foundation, whether it's family or friends who are family, you know, I think that's important. So let me ask you this, because I think you talked about the alignment before. How can you start acting in alignment with those things that you most value now? Like if someone is feeling lost, like we were talking about before, or, you know, they feel like, you know, desperate. I think a lot of people out there, you know, feel depressed, maybe in isolation, loneliness. I mean, what would you, as far as tools are concerned and what you've been working with and what you see in your profession too, I think it's important, what kind of manifesting tools would you say would be the best, other than obviously listening to their heart, but if they can't, what would you encourage?
So obviously everybody's different
Yes.
with their problems,
Yeah.
you know, so this is very generic, but I would encourage them, you know, to go back to their roots. It's important.
I like that. I think that's amazing. It's really important.
You know, talk to their moms if they have, talk to their dads, you know, to the friends. You know, we forget that sometimes the friends are something that you just need in your day, and we forget them, you
Yeah.
know, and or we just text on social media, Facebook, but that's not friendship, okay?
Because these conversations actually engage your energy, and being around people like with friends like
Yes.
this, it actually does
Yes.
help you.
Yes.
Yes.
And also another thing that I would encourage them, you know, think of what you were doing when you were, for example, 7 years old.
Let's go
You
back.
know,
Yeah.
go back to
Go
yourself and,
I like
you
that.
know, like ask your family members, you know, what you were doing, like with what you
I
were
like that.
feeling happy, like what are the actions that you felt
Yeah.
yourself, you know, and I'm sure your mom or dad or brother or sister will
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah.
And think about that. If you are the person experiencing those activities now in the life that you are now,
Yeah.
are you doing those things now, like
Yeah.
that you know, like, you know, or you are in the wrong path, you know?
You know, it's interesting that you say that, because I think it's fantastic that you say that, because when you're younger, you don't have the ability to do it on a daily basis those things that you dream about. But when you're older, if you so choose, you do. You have those choices. You have that opportunity to manifest what those passions bring to you. Like you were talking about the passion and doing really what you love in this world, no matter what.
I experienced, you know, my mom-in-law transformation.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes. She was how old when she passed away? She was
She
older.
passed when she was almost 99
Wow.
years old.
A good Italian.
Good Italian.
Good Italian woman.
That's part of my
Lei parla
husband.
italiano anche,
Sì.
va bene.
I have to mention Rucha because
Rucha.
she, you know, older we are, wiser we become. And she changed her life.
Oh, wow.
You know, constantly, even if she was 80 years old,
Wow.
there was some dramatical change in her life
Yeah.
that she did for her well-being.
Wow.
I am saying, if she was able to do that,
Anybody
you can do that too.
Yeah.
You know, and
anybody.
I know that. Obviously, you know, there are situations, and I know
Yeah.
that life is not easy, but with the support of your family, your friends, you know, love.
Love with the hearts. Yeah.
Yes, you can do it. You can make it.
I think for me that's probably the best point that you've made tonight, is that it's really never too late to change any path that you're on, and it's never too late to make better decisions for your life. And on top of that, those people who love you and know you best certainly will be the greatest points of love that you can bring along. And I want to...
And supporters.
And supporters, yeah. I think that's fantastic. I love that. So at the outset of the interview tonight, I asked you to pick a number, and I asked you to set your intention for tonight. So as you all know, I love to get intentional, and it complies with my magical guide to bliss. So I know my intention for tonight, but I wanted to ask you, Eva, what was yours?
My intention, to have good intentions.
Okay. So what number did you pick to match that?
I would pick 6.
6. Okay. So what I would ask you to do, if you wouldn't mind, is read page 6 in the Magical Guide to Bliss. So here we go.
Okay.
So that will match your intention tonight.
So if you don't make time for your dreams, then who will?
There you go.
There you go.
There
we
you
have
go.
it there.
Then we have it.
Most people are so busy knocking themselves out, trying to do everything they think they should. They never get around to doing what they want to do.
And that is the healing power of doing what you love. So normally I would have you read the rest of it, but I wanted to make a point tonight to point out how much I love and appreciate you. And most of you out there know that I have my Shine nonprofit, and it goes back further than 2015 when my first networking event took place. It actually goes back to when Eva was first caring for me, and I've known Eva since August of 2011. Like I said, because of my dear friend Karen, had the grace and love to bring me to get help when I was really, truly hopeless. And I want to tell you, there's certain things in life that you hope for. And everyone says now that I'm able because I'm strong again, which I wasn't back then. That inspiration, I think, is probably really one of the most important things, especially if you're feeling low, sad, whatever you want to call it, or lack of direction, lost. And I think in the dictionary, the word inspiration is defined as the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. And that coupled with the drawing in of breath and inhalation. And I think that what Eva allowed me to do when I met her was to breathe, learn to breathe again. I think we all forget that too often, that when we're really scared, we stop the breath. And I think that that is also something that's very important when you're trying to get your center and your heart space. And I know for sure that the two combinations of this definition spell out Eva, at least for me. So this year, and she won't be here, well, maybe she will be, we'll see, but I wanted to make sure that you know, I started Follow Your Bliss seminars back in 2011, and they've since evolved into my Shine Networking after the whole meeting Oprah, and then they've evolved into a nonprofit where I get to help young, innovative, creative people. And ever since I started this, you've always encouraged me, you've inspired me, you've supported me, and I can't tell you how grateful I am for that love. Basically, it was love, because, you know, I don't know whether or not you benefited on a financial scale, but you always, you know, we're always there to generously donate to my event. And certainly when I may have doubted, you're tearing up, I'm gonna cry. Well, when I doubted myself, you told me not to, and you gave me the love and support. That someone who inspires that in others is a true gift. And I think that when you find someone in your life, and all of you, they're out there, you know, you hold on to them with dear life, because they come along once in a lifetime, and you came along in my lifetime exactly when I needed you. And I think that's the whole, what you were saying before, everybody has a purpose, and the journey has a purpose. And with that, you are getting our first, you know, 2020 Shine Inspiration Award, because when I think of people who show up for other people and who give from their heart, like you're talking about, and who truly heal through the power of love and dedication and hope, I think of you. So this year, the first Shine 2020 Inspiration Award I'm giving to Dr. Eva Paglialonga. I can't tell you how grateful I am. I don't think words will ever be able to relay that sentiment to you. So this is for you. You are beyond amazing, and I hope you continue on whatever you do on your journey and path to inspire so many people you cross paths with. So.
Thank you, Meg.
Yeah.
You know, I'm speechless now. So.
Well, the cool thing is that very appropriately, you get the final inspirational word tonight. So it goes to you, Eva. So you have the audience, you have this wonderful, you know, Facebook world out there, and the podcast world, and wherever else this video shows up in YouTube, to give a final word of inspiration on the month of love.
The final word of inspiration: get inspired, get your passions, you know, and get back to your heart and feel yourself, and do everything with the best intention ever, and it will pay off.
That's awesome.
Okay,
I think that's awesome. And you know, I just really love to add as well, never give up, because when you do move, like you were saying before, out wherever you're stuck, you'll find people who are willing to help you along. And I think that is something that's really important to anyone who is really, really struggling right now.
Be open-minded.
Yeah, be open-minded too, because you never know what that person looks like, you know, and you don't want to judge any book by its cover when you know that the gifts that they have to bring you are beyond your imagination. So I want to thank you again, Eva, for being here with me. This has been such a special evening for me. Remember, you are here as the deliberate creators of your life. Let your soul be guided by your dreams, and let's all together raise the positive vibration on this planet so that we all can continue to live our bliss. Enjoy the magic and your miracles. Shine your beautiful light. And until next time, manifest the most beautiful life you can imagine. Go out there and spread the love. Let's love ourselves exactly where we are, and reach out and continue to spread the love to others as well from that place of strength. Thank you, Eva. Blessings and bliss, and good night, everyone. Thank you so much. Good night.